Hey guys, Ravenclaw here, and as a special thank you to everyone that's subscribed to me so far, I'm bringing you a Survival Hunter PvP guide. Hey guys, Ravenclaw here, back with a Survival Hunter PvP guide. Now, you guys seem to be loving my BM Hunter guide, so I thought why not jump in and do a survival guide. On the left hand of the screen you'll see a menu. Click on the section that you guys want to see the most. But other than that, sit back, relax, and let's get into some survival awesomeness. Okay, here we are with our talent section. Now the first talent I like to choose is post haste. So I do switch it out for narrow escape depending on the comp, sometimes. But post haste, when you disengage, you get a 7-second speed boost. Plus it also breaks any snares that you're captured in. So for example, a mage locks you down, you hit disengage, you'll break the snare, and you can get back into the action. Okay, next talent I use is Wyvern Sting, sometimes Binding Shot. This is situational again, depending on the comp you run. If you're running jungle or thug cleave, so you've got some stuns flying around, you will go Wyvern Sting. Other than that, you will go Binding Shot. Okay, section 3. I like to go with Iron Hawk here because this is my 3s build really. So I run with a healer. I don't really need the Spirit Bond getting the heal back. So I use Iron Hawk, which reduces your damage. Reduces the damage you take by 10%. Okay, the next one is Thrill of the Hunt. I take Thrill of the Hunt because you get a proc of 3 arcane shots with a reduced focus cost. This is great as a survival hunter, as survival is all about consistent damage. BM hunters are burst, so this will allow you to keep getting that damage out without using too much focus. The next one, the only one you take here, is Murder of Crows. It's a dot damage attack and it does a lot of damage. You mix this with your burst macro and you'll be killing them in no time. Next one, as a survival hunter, you want to keep the slows going, okay? So I take Glaive Toss here. Glaive Toss sends out 2 glaives that will hit the target, slowing them and anyone in its path. It does a decent amount of damage too, so this is the one that I take. In the last tier here, the only one for Survival Hunter to take is Exotic Ammunitions. This allows you to change, it gives you a buff of either poison, explosive, or frozen ammunition. Now, as I said before, you want to keep those targets on the slow, so you want to make sure that you take the slowing ammunition. There. No, the frozen ammunition. This will keep anyone that you attack on the slow, and yeah. Moving on. Okay guys, here we are at the Glyphs section. Now, the glyphs that I like to roll with are Explosive Trap, Snake Trap, and the Glyph of Solace. Now let's go over the first one. Explosive Trap turns your explosive trap, into a trap that will actually explode people away. Now, benefits of this. Okay, let's say you're in the arena, the sewer arena, okay, and you're all standing on the platform. Now let's say you want to split the healer up from the team. Great for LOSing that healer from his team by hitting them off and he has to run back. Now another trick to use with the explosive trap is, let's say that same healer has popped his aura mastery and he's about to start spamming heals that you can't kick. Drop a trap down mid-cast and that will interrupt it. You never know. This could be the difference between a kill and not a kill. Next one is Glyph of Solace, which removes dots from the target that is trapped. This is great if you, as a survival hunter, you've got a lot of dots going out. What you want to make sure you do is you want to remove those so you can get the full trap. Now, not just you, but if your teammate, if you're running, say, Jungle Cleave, which your druid is bleed heavy, you want to remove all those bleeds off the trap in case you've swapped from target to target. Now, the one I use here is the Snake Trap. It's another slow. Okay, you're all about the slows. So you want to drop that down. It does 2 things. Okay, not only does it slow the target, but what you want to do is you want to chuck this out at the beginning of the match. Say you're going up against, rogues or druids and stuff. If they run over that, it'll bring them out of stealth. Okay, so get used to this sort of trap. See, you know, try it out in arenas yourself. Okay, now some other ones you want to go through is maybe where are we? You know, glyph of camouflage. Okay, so if you aren't liking the stealth that you've got already and you don't want to be seen, you can jump into camouflage there. Glyph of liberation, depending on if you're running with a healer, there's no real point to take this, but if you're running like in twos with a feral druid, this gives you a little bit of extra heal, survivability. Mirror blades, you know, if you want to go, you know, sending stuff back to the caster, like say you're up against a destruction lock and he sends a chaos bolt your way, flip them up, send it back at him. What else have we got here? You know, tranquilizing shot, you can take this if you want to spam trank shot to get rid of all, you know, purge just like a boss, but yeah, very situational. I don't really like to take it. And one thing I will go over in the minor glyphs is this one, aspect of the cheater. So you can put this aspect of the cheater on, and while you're in stealth, you'll get a little bit of extra speed boost. Now, if you don't take this, what will happen is you will get dazed and you'll be constantly slowed if you keep this up. But what this glyph does, it allows you to remove this, automatically removes it as soon as you get hit. So that way you can pop it on, get a bit of speed at the, you know, in the opener, get into position faster. And if you do get hit, well, it does nothing. And other than that, you can play around with the rest. Okay, moving on to stat priority and gear. The stat priority is as follows: versatility, mastery, multi-strike, crit, and haste. And the enchants you want to go for your neck, back, and rings are the versatility enchants. And for the weapon, it's the Hemet's Heartseeker. Now moving on to the gear. Now for the gear, for the headpiece, you want the mastery multi-strike headpiece. For the neck, you want the haste mastery. For the shoulders, you want the versatility mastery. The back, you want the haste mastery. The chest, you want to go for the versatility multi-strike. The wrist, you want to go for the mastery multi-strike wrist. The ranged is situational, you can have whichever one you want, they're all the same. The hands, you want to go for the mastery and multi-strike. The wrist, you want to go for the critical strike versatility. The legs, you want to go for the haste mastery, and you want to go for the versatility mastery feet. The next, you want to go for the haste mastery finger slot 1, and for the finger slot 2, you want to go for the critical strike multi-strike. And for the trinket, your burst trinket, you want to go for the agility burst trinket. Now the last two trinkets are situational depending on what race you are, but you want to look for the versatility ones. Okay, now moving on to the pets. Now what I've provided for you here is a list of the different buffs that each pet type brings. Okay, so for example, I use the Devil's Saw, which brings a mortal wounds debuff and a critical strike buff. The next is the Raven I use, which is the bird, which also does the mortal wounds debuff. Now, what I will be doing is a pet guide, like the actual pet guide on where to get the different pets and what buffs each one brings. So be sure to stay tuned for that. And other than that, we can move on. Okay guys, so moving on to the macro part of our survival guide. Just firstly that I have done a macros guide on its own, which goes over the basics of creating macros from scratch, and there will be an advanced guide coming out soon. But moving on, now the macros that I use are, firstly we have the freedom macro, which is macroed to myself, my party 1 and my party 2 for arenas. So party 1 is your first party member and obviously the second, you being the third. Okay, so this can work for 2s and 3s. You can do it for 5s if you play 5s, just keep adding the players. The next is my sac mac, sacrifice macro, which gets the Roar of Sacrifice onto either myself, my party 1, or my party 2. So you can see if I hit the party 1 or myself, it brings up the buff on me. Same with the freedom. Okay, now moving on. So on here, pet attack. Why I have pet attack there, whoops, is it allows me to send my pet in when I attack. Okay, so you always have him attacking all the time, especially if you switch, he'll switch with you. Okay, then I've got my arcane shot, which is my main attack, and as you can see here, because I'm always using arcane shot, I'm setting my focus. Now this is useful if you're up against a resto druid and you've set your focus, but he goes into stealth. And instead of you having to click on his frame and go back and forward, this will always have him set as your focus. And then you can simply switch this out to which arena player that which arena slot the healer or your focus is in. Okay, so if I go into here, deterrence. Now the reason why I have this is if I'm in the middle of casting a cobra shot, right, and I need to deter, I can simply cast this and then hit my deterrence macro, and it will stop my casting. Okay, so having stopped casting twice will ensure that it stops everything, and you're into deterrence. Last thing you want to do is be in the middle of casting, cobra shot, and you need to deter, but you have to wait for the shot to finish. Now this applies to my trap macros as well, but in this trap macro, you can see that I've got cast trap launcher. Now this is good for if I forget to see here. If I open the doors to an arena and I forget to set my trap launcher, this will ensure that I have my trap launcher up all the time, and then you can go ahead and cast. Now going into the trap launcher, I like to toggle that on and off depending if I have, where I am in the arena. So if I got the healer here having trap macro off, right, I can simply go in and just drop a trap at my feet. Get rid of this guy. Drop a trap at my feet, depending on where he is, and you can set it on, but it's up to you. So moving on, so you can see that I have my ice trap and my freezing trap is the same. Counter shot, you can see that I set this to my focus, and once again, stop casting. So if I'm in the middle of a cast, it quickly cancels it and then casts it out. Now my burst macro is as follows. So it's use 13, so when we go in here, the 13 is my burst trinket, Murder of Crows, Bestial Wrath, Focus Fire, and Stampede is not for arenas, it's just for mucking around in duels. What else do I have? Disengage 2, stop casting to disengage, so that way if you need to get away or you need to catch up, same deal. And that is pretty much it. And then I have some trolling macros as well. Scripting we'll get into in my advanced macro guide, and that's pretty much everything. Just trying to make sure I don't miss anything. Yeah, that's pretty much everything I have for my macros, so we shall move on. Okay guys, now we're on to our PvP rotation. Now obviously PvP is situational and every fight is different, that's why I love PvP. Whereas PvE is basically the same thing, rinse and repeated. So, as a survival hunter, okay, we're all about the consistent damage. Whereas the BM hunter is all about that burst in your face, melt you in a minute damage. Okay, so the rotation, well, the basic rotation is, if you're opening up, you obviously have no buffs, but when you open up, what you want to do is open up, you see your buffs, trinket, that's my weapon buff here, and your trinket buff should proc. If it does, then what you want to do is you hit your burst macro, glaive toss, black arrow, always make sure you apply black arrow, and then continuously mix cobra shot into the burst, so you keep getting that focus, okay? Then spam explosive shot. Now you see the explosive shot tick here, hit it once, and you can see it ticking down, then hit it again. So what I'm trying to say is, so let's go over that, okay? So we want to start with our arcane shot to get the procs going. Then we want to go black arrow, glaive toss, explosive shot. Now you'll see that the explosive shot is a tick. So you can see here, it only lasts for 2 seconds. Now, when the explosive shot procs, don't hit it twice. It's a waste. Okay, so hit it once, then do either arcane shot or cobra shot, then hit it again. Now the reason for this is you want to get the most out of that explosive shot. Okay, so if you hit it once, right, and then you hit it straight after, all you've done is reset the timer to maybe get half a second to a full second extra damage. But if you hit it once, do something in between, right, and then hit it again, you're going to get the full 2.5 seconds, I believe it is. Let's have a look. Yeah, you'll get the full 2.5 to 3 seconds. So like right here. So hit that, do something in between, you'll see it's ticking down, then hit it again, and you'll get the full about 5 or 6 seconds of that dot damage, okay? So you just want to be smart with this explosive shot proc. And that's basically it. So if you're in mid game now and you want to push some pressure, wait for yourself to have full focus. Your procs, yeah, see, your weapon and your trinket procs are up, then go into your rotation. And that's pretty much it, okay? So you hit that out, black arrow, explosive shot, keep going, cobra shot, get that focus back up. And that's why you need the multi-strike here, your black arrows back up, hit it out, and so on and so forth. This is going to take practice, and yeah, just give it a go and see how you like it. And in saying that, that brings us to the end of our guide. So I hope this has helped you out, and I hope it's been, fun to watch. And if it has been and you have liked it, please leave a like on the video. Comment down below. Let me know if you've liked it. And if you haven't joined my channel yet, hit that subscribe button for a lot more to come in the Hunter series. And other than that, guys, it's been great talking to you. And until next time, I'm Ravenclaw. Take it easy.